Okay guys, I want to show you a couple tricks with some of this tiny 128 wiring. Starting with this wire that goes from your ESC to your motor. This wire can get kind of crazy, especially when you're trying to bend it and twist it. So what I do is I'll make it look like that. So the way I do that is take your connector end and you start to twist it. And twist it from the connector end until you get a little bit going, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way down the wire like this, all the way down. Now normally I wouldn't do something so tedious on video, but I want to show you how it can get if you go too fast. You don't want to go too fast, as it's going to start unraveling like that on you. If it does, don't worry, just start back over. Right? You start back at the point you were at, and then I'm twisting this, my right hand, and I'm kind of spinning the wires as I go. And then move your finger down a little bit, and then you're going to go all the way down the wire, okay? And you can kind of work together with your fingers. But if you go too fast, it's just going to end up looking like that in the middle. So just keep on working your way all the way down, all the way down. I promise you it'll go all the way down. Now you don't have to go fast, just do it until it kind of feels tight. Okay. Now the way this works out, and I don't know why it does that, but this one ends up being twisted the wrong way. If you just go and start this one on the other end, you'd notice that you could unravel it the whole way. Don't know why it does that, but you're basically fighting against it until you get a little further down, okay? And then just keep on going all the way down. Now you'll notice if I don't do my finger roll trick, it's not really doing anything. You have to get kind of real tight, and then do your little finger roll, okay? Get it to roll. You can kind of hold the other connector while you're doing it so it doesn't unravel too far. But just keep on spinning, keep on spinning. You're just rolling, rolling, rolling. Okay? Then when you get down to the other end, you can just kind of grab your wire and spin it. Alright, now then I'll give it one more final roll. And now it's all nice and tight. You got a couple wires that look like that. Now, I mean, that's a decent looking wire to start with, but we're going to dress it up a little bit more. So I've got this sheathing here that I like to use in all my RC wiring, and this one is pretty tiny, but that's okay. Now the way that I do my sheathing is I'll take my wire and I'll hold it up to the connector, and you don't want it to butt right up to it unless you're going to run heat shrink past that and onto the connector. For these that are so small, I'm not going to run heat shrink onto the connector, especially because they push down pretty far in there. So I'm just going to butt it up to just before the wire, and you can see probably about like that, okay? And then once I've got it set there, I'll pinch it and I'll trace my fingers along it, and then I'm going to go right to where I need it there. Now my fingernail is right there, so I'm going to butt my other fingernail up to it and pinch it right there. Okay, that's how long of a piece I need. Another trick you can use is, once you have it pinched there, roll your fingers back a little bit and cut it where your line was, but you're going to give your fingers a little bit of space there. And the reason that you do that is so that when you're singeing the ends, you don't burn your fingers. Okay, make sure you do both sides. Always do both sides when you cut this sheathing, because if you don't, it'll fray really bad. And what I mean by that is, I'll show you an example with this piece here. I'm going to cut this, but I'm only going to re-singe this side. Okay, that's all you got to do. And then this side that I didn't, that's not singed. So you see, this is the singed end. I can push on that. I can push it down. I can mess with it. It's not going to come undone at the end. If I don't do that, this is what happens. When you start pushing on that, it's going to start fraying, and then you're done. you can't use that. Obviously you can't use that. So you see the big difference. That's why you always want to seal both ends anytime you cut it. Okay, now where were we? Let's go back to this wire here. Because this connector is so small, I can get away with bending the end of it and then pushing it through the tiny connector. Okay, we've got our end singed. Is this the side? Is this the length that I wanted? No. Okay, anyway, I don't know where that piece went, but we'll cut it again. Okay, so we're to there. We're to there. Bring your finger, roll my finger back, cut it there. That's where it went. There's another piece laying right beside it. Okay. Now we're gonna singe that in. And where's the other little piece already? Oh, he's good. Okay. So this is the piece that we want. And this is the wire that we want. So now that we've got that bent, we're gonna push this through here. Now, because this has sharp edges on it and this piece is so tiny, I want to wrap tape around it to make it less sharp to go through that sleeving. So all I do for that is just get me a little piece of tape and then I'll wrap it. And on the end, I'll just kind of make it a little bit of a point with the tape. You don't want to get too crazy there because it'll get stuck too. You kind of want that to stay pretty like blunt. The tip, you want the tip to be blunted. Okay, and minimalistic because this has got to go through this sheathing, and if you stretch it too much, it's going to get ugly. So take your tip of your tape, put it just barely in, and then you're going to grab the end and you're going to balloon it so you get that tape through the middle. Okay. Now this little wiring is not going to want to go through there, but that's okay. Maggot right in the center, balloon it out. That ain't working. I think I got too big of a dimple on the end there. Okay, so you're just going to want to push it onto the tip, then balloon it out. Get these little strands laying straight, and then push it, balloon it out. Once you get past that main part, you'll be fine. Okay, so just push it down there, groom it down, groom her down, push it in a little bit. Once you get to the part where you're at the end, you're going to want to make sure your end is open. If not, just flick it with your fingernail a little bit, it'll open it up a little. And you're going to push it down, groom it. Once you got your tape showing, you can finish her down. Okay. So, and then once it's on like that, you want to groom it back down to size because it's going to be probably a little bit frayed on the end like that. And you can take your tape off. Tidy your end back up. And then put it about where you want it. That's way too short, but you get the point. Okay. Did I use one that was too short? Yep, I did. Well, that's all right. This is how you fix it. If you got one that's not right, just balloon it, push it, balloon it, push it, balloon it, push it. And then that last little bit sometimes is a pain, but like you reuse them if I do this. So I don't really care how that comes out of there. It just got to come out. We'll check that piece. And make sure you got the right friggin' length one. Yeah, that's the one. Alright, so again, this side looks a little bit more open. This side, this time I'm going to do it without tape. First balloon is kind of your hard one with this, but it's still not difficult. Just push it in until your connector is on there, okay, and that way you can also grab the end of it there, and then you just grab the end of it, let it balloon, and then get her started. Once you get it started, it's pretty easy. So push it down, balloon, groom it down, same thing. But you see this thing is catching everywhere. It's catching on those little corners, so that's why I use the tape. You can still get it down, but it's just, this does have a tendency to kind of mangle it a little bit more, but it's working out all right. These tiny wires are okay. If you guys can see what the hell I'm doing. Alright, get her a little bit down like that. Now we're really close to the end, and I don't want to mess this up, so I'm going to straighten this out. I'm going to balloon it down. Let's see if I can get that piece to cooperate with me. Yeah, that's why I said use the tape, man. This end can get a little ugly, but that's why I said something you might have to flick it with your fingernail just to kind of get it to open up a little bit. And you can push it down, push it down, push it out, push it out. Alright, get her out of there. That's a chaotic little mess there, but don't worry, you're almost to the end. There you got it. Get out of there, boy. Alright. Now, that end went through a little fight, but you can see we still got him back to where he needs to be. Okay? Almost pushed him out the other side. That side, was it a little ugly? Yeah, it was a little ugly, but we got it. Alright, so now we're going to get that sorted to about there. Okay. Now you can take your, oh, I got smaller heat shrink than that. Where's it at? There it is. We're going to use a smaller heat shrink. I'm going to show you a little trick. So I don't need that much. Maybe about like that. Let's do another one about like that. Okay, and if this is difficult, I'll show you another trick, but this is easy. Okay, so we're just going to take that heat shrink and just twist it over there. Now because it's so small, it's not really going to be a problem for you. Okay, get your first piece on, run it down, get your second piece on, same thing, run it down. Now if you need to, you can pull the sheathing back a little bit to give you a little bit more space here to work, and then it's, you know, pretty easy just to get that sheathing on there like that. Okay, now once again, straighten your connector out, get your sheathing where you want it. That looks about right. So we're just going to take that heat shrink and set her there. Now the trick with these tiny wires is go fast. Hey, what's up, Jeff? Hold on, man. I'm right in the middle of a video here.
Yeah, well, when you finish, the vacuum cleaner came out. I'm back in my room, and it can be fixed. But the blower came out when I was back.
The blower came out?
I show you.
Yeah, let me take a look at it.
I bring